Hi, Vivi-Gamer here. I'm here today to bring what I consider some of the hidden gems for the PS1 console. Just putting a disclaimer out there that these aren't the most obscure Japanese titles that you can think of, but just some of the ones I feel that people have forgotten over the years that still stand up well today. I was close to including something like Croc, Legends of the Gobbos for example, but that game actually got a platinum release back in the day. However, looking on the PlayStation Store I see there's a blatant rip-off of this now. I found this earlier today, Croc's World 3, which fun enough looks like a Mario platformer instead. So the first one I want to mention is Hogs of War. I'm going to start with a bold statement here, but I believe that Hogs of War surpasses every single Worms game out there. This is a tactical turn-based action game which has so much charm, enhanced by the excellent vocal delivery from Rick Mail, who you may know from BBC's Blackadder and Bottom.
Oh good show, let's send them packing.
But the game also has a quite compelling campaign mode where you have to conquer through the land with intense battles, which offers a good 25 to 30 levels. The game features a fun set of weapons from rocket launchers, snipers, to the odd ones like madness gas, which makes your enemies run manically ahead, hopefully into some landmines if you plan it right. My favourite level is when we start at the top of the hill and you have to knock the opposition down towards the landmines at the centre of this pit, and right at the bottom of this pit there's a pool of poisoned water. I mean, I've played this so many times over the years with my friends, and watching them cry in agony as their little piggies fall through hell is very gratifying. The next game I want to mention is Zero Divide. The PS1 has a lot of fighters which many would consider to be hidden gems, but I feel like a lot of fighting games at that time struggled to make the transition into 3D. So while there are games like Tobal No. 1, the Battle Toshiden series, or Bloody Roar, but to be honest I feel like a lot of them aren't really good. Zero Divide however I think is a phenomenal fighting game, and considering how early it was released I think it was one of the best fighting games right up until the end of the system. Tekken 3 and Soul Blade are quite tough to top. Zero Divide is a mech fighting game with quite a few interesting features. The creative art design for one. You have some humanoid looking robots, but then you have some really out there designs like cat robots, dino robots, and this xenomorph looking one. But the last boss in particular is one of the most surreal, freaky looking designs of any character I've seen in any game. I won't spoil it for you, but you do have to play the game on hard mode just to reach it. Just like those bloody Disney games. The combat feels very accessible, but I do have one pet peeve which is consistent with many fighting games, and that is an assigned block button. I much prefer to have the character move backwards to block, as I feel moving backwards is more intuitive. Another cool feature was that you could actually dismember your opponent's body parts. While there is still a transparent layer of where the body parts were, it's still pretty intense to see your strikes have actual impact. There's also a couple of sequels. I didn't find Zero Divide 2 to be as good. The controls feel a little off, and the surreal design of the characters have been heavily restricted. And there's also a third title on the Sega Saturn, but this was only released in Japan, so I can't speak of that. Alright, on to the next one, and that is Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters. I miss the age of great platformers, and what's particularly striking about this one is you can actually play it in co-op. Actually, I would say it's intended to be played as a co-op experience because the single player mode has you constantly switch characters without any AI assistance. Time Busters has a lot of diversity within its level design. You have your typical platformer levels, but then you also have chase sequences on a dragon and brilliant minigames. My personal favourite being able to play basketball with the Aztecs. Yep, this is how I play sports in real life. What also sets this game apart is the hub worlds having plenty of interaction within them. There are many puzzles and tasks within the area to earn collectibles to help your progression throughout the game. Time Busters is a brilliant platformer which feels authentic to the source material and very well written. I highly recommend it. The next game I want to mention is Wu-Tang Taste the Pain, also known as Shaolin Style in the US. It's a very strange game because it comes from the backbone of a game that was previously banned called Thrill Kill, which was reported for its excessive violence. But despite this game being a reskin, it's still just as grisly, offering plenty of graphic content. But what I must express is that this is by no means a quick conversion. The Wu-Tang style is covered all over the art design, and it features many high quality CGI cutscenes. The actual game itself has a very unique combat system, very similar to the controls of Power Stone but more grounded. Typically you'll see the structure of a 4-player battle take place, but in the campaign it does change with multiple boss battles and teammates helping you with the encounters. You get all sorts of power-ups, and the game also features fatalities similar to what you'd expect in Mortal Kombat. Another cool feature is that you can also beat challenges and tasks within the main campaign to unlock more costumes and fatalities, which makes progressing the main campaign more compelling. It also makes for a great party game making use of that PS1 multi-tap. One word of caution though, if you play this game without owning the manual, you'll only have access to the censored version. To unlock the game in all its gore, there is actually a code at the back of the manual. Otherwise... never mind, we're not stuck in the 90s anymore. My last recommendation is Ronin Blade, also known as Soul of the Samurai, which I actually have minimal experience of. I've been meaning to sit down and play this one, but sadly time and priorities have got in the way. But from what I've played in the first hour or so, it looks fantastic, very reminiscent of Capcom's Onimusha, so Resident Evil mixed with samurai action. It seems very story-driven and has plenty of mystery surrounding this plague, and you can also select between two characters that have different perspectives of the story. It has them lovely pre-rendered backgrounds and a very striking sound design. I really need to get around to playing this game, as it has been on my backlog of classic games for far too long. Here's a question to anyone who has played it. Does it stand up to the game's strong first impressions? Let me know in the comments below. And that's my 5 hidden gem recommendations. Like I said, not the most obscure titles on the system, but 5 which I think people need another reminder of. I hope to do a similar list on PS2 and PS3 titles, and just recently I started doing a Let's Play of classic JRPGs. Currently I'm playing through Infinite Undiscovery on the Xbox 360, so feel free to join me on Wednesdays at 7:30 UK time. All the best and catch you later.